This is Art from MX43.com. Today we're visiting with Buck Girolami at his business, Suspension by Buck. We're going to talk a little bit about suspension. Buck does all of the suspension for our bikes. He does all our cross-country bikes, he does all our motocross bikes. We're extremely happy with it. But today what we want to do is talk about some new technology and a subject that is often overlooked by most riders. Even the good riders don't pay much attention to setting their race sag properly. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, most of us have been in the garage before, out at the track, and the first thing we do, if we're lucky, is we've got a sag stick and we measure it that way. Or, if we're not quite that lucky, we scramble around until we find our tape measure, and we use this, and we got to use calculators and pens and all kinds of things that we have to do. Well, today Buck's going to show you something new and different that's making setting sag entirely change the way you do things. And so I'm going to turn it over to Buck and let him show you.
This is the slacker. It is probably the best tool, suspension tool I've seen in years. Really easy to use. Personally, I hate doing sag. With this, makes it easy. I don't mind doing it no more. Has a magnet on the back, hooks right to your axle. Turn it on, button right there. You got another clamp, comes up, clamps it right to your number plate. Kind of want to have it somewhat of an angle with your shock angle. And, pretty cool, has a remote. So you don't even have to look down, you click directly your handlebars. So, you have 0 here. Bike sagging about 30 millimeters, which is pretty good. Me on it, we're at 101 millimeters of sag. You can look at it right here. You don't have to bend over, lean, check your pin mark. So really easy to use. One person can do it. You don't have to have one or two people helping you. Makes life easy. I think it's one of the best tools that's came out in quite a few years for suspension. Very easy to use. Anyone can use it.
Buck, as a suspension specialist, do you think this is going to change the way guys think about their sag and maybe they'll set it a little more often?
I think so, because personally I don't like setting sag. It takes a lot of time, and you know, one thing a lot of people don't realize with sag, gas makes a difference. How much gas you have on your bike, mud, different gear.
Is setting sag something that people should pay a little more attention to?
Exactly. Sag should be set actually every time you go to the track. Every track's going to be a little different. And even the temperature will change with your bike. The heat to the cold will change with your sag.
Well, I know that in my case, pulling the tape measure out is never fun. The slacker, obviously makes life completely different.
Way different. Way easy to use. Super easy to do it now.
This is a little digital technology coming to the suspension world.
Okay. Because normally, you know, to get a correct sag, you actually want to be somewhere behind the number plate. It's always hard to get the Sag Tool behind there, the stick. Tape measure sometimes is not easy to get in there either. This, you clamp it anywhere you want, and you're good to go.
So you're behind the slacker then?
100%.
We'd encourage you, visit the slacker website and get this really slick, cool tool. Thanks for listening.